Yes? Oh, please send them in. Mm-hmm. Thank you. Hello, you. Please come take a seat. Hello, hi, Rockstar. Oh, it's been quite a hot second since I've last seen you. The last time I saw you, you were still such a young bud in the industry. Are you here alone today? I thought you would be bringing along your manager or that fumbly little assistant of yours. You're here alone today, my. What could this be about? Oh, you flatter me, darling. Yes, I did produce quite a few award-winning, let's say, music videos last awards season, but you mean to tell me you want to work with me? Well, how would I have guessed? No, I already anticipated this, if you will, when you sent me your little email, and I thought to myself, now isn't that an interesting choice? As you know, my music videos are a little bit more artistic, if you will. Not to say that yours haven't been artistic so far. They are slightly commercial, I'll put it that way. I don't assume it's your personal choice. It might be your agency's choice, if you will. So, I don't really put that past your agency or the industry in general. But I thought, judging by your sound and your personality, I thought I could do something with you. I totally thought that there is definitely a route, whatever, however you want to pronounce it, that could be explored here. And I would once again be able to bring out a sort of avant-garde-ness to my work through you, my muse. Well, of course, I would have to listen to your music first. I am very much a sound and auditory person. I'm always listening to music, you know. That's why I decided to do music videos instead of film, because I have quite a talent in motion pictures and feature films as well. You should have seen my early work. Yes. Okay, so you have the demo, but you haven't recorded. Well, at least tell me a little bit. Is it a dance track? Is it a ballad? Okay. Oh, very interesting. Oh, they're on the track. Oh, they're the producer. Oh, yes. Of course I know. Yes. Okay. Well, in that case, I'm not sure what I can do for you right now, though, before I even know what the song is about. Sure, darling, run me through the lyrics. Sort of a message on rebirth. I like that. We could do a lot of metaphors using that. We could do something like a metamorphosis sort of thing, or we can do a sort of monster, you know, with some special makeup effects, or we could do sort of like an angel falling to earth, or okay, you've got some ideas. Well, look at you. You're thinking sort of Greco-Roman, sort of mythological kind of. That sounds very pretty. I don't usually like doing just pretty. You're gonna have to be willing to be unpretty, if you will. Well, I'm glad to know you did your homework. Wow, 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 a Medusa look. Now, usually when I hear the idol girls talk about doing something aesthetically bold, they don't usually want to stuff their head in a snake sort of headpiece. So I applaud you on that. I think that could work, but I don't quite see how that ties into the whole rebirth sort of message. Exactly. It has to mean something. You can't just do art for art's sake, even though sometimes the message is doing art for art's sake. But for this, I think as our debut together, I would want every inch of the film to mean something. Yes. Yes. Oh yes, I can envision that. Black lips. Gold sparkles. You're a very visual person. Very much into makeup. As you know, I love playing with makeup as well. So I like that you have these ideas. Gold, dripping gold from your eyes. That's what you mean with golden tears, yes? Okay, I can already see the mood board in my head. But let's work a little bit more on the general arc, right? We can't really storyboard right now because I still haven't heard your song. I don't know how musically it's going to be broken up. But from what I hear from your lyrics, oh, you brought a printed sheet as well. How lovely, my darling. Yes. But yes, you can leave it there. Going off that theme, I'm thinking perhaps, like I said, I'm quite intrigued by the idea of fallen angel, and I don't want to do a pretty fallen angel. I want to do a gory one, you know, the biblical sort of fallen angel, well, angel in general with the crazy eyes and stuff. I'm thinking we could put a third eye on you. Just right there, and then we could do just like special effects, like rings coming out against you, and then you're like so bright it overtakes the whole screen. Okay, yeah, well, we'd have to talk budget. And perhaps you get slain, head chopped off completely. Too gory. Your fans wouldn't like that. Oh well, fair enough. Okay, well, how about you wake up on a field? Oh, that's too boring, isn't it? Well, maybe we go with boring first. We give them your signature innocent look, right? Yes, we open with that. We play with that. You're in a white sort of gown, and it's very like Greek robes, a toga kind of situation, and your hair is loose and curly. Yes, curly. I want it curly. You know, just fanning out, and you sort of do a really pretty like fairy moment where you wake up. Let me just draw that out. Your hair fanned out, and then we're going to sort of have you super dazed and confused, and then you start to find your group of friends, perhaps, or you are surrounded by animals or something. I'm thinking a little bit Maleficent, maybe. Yes, I just rewatched it recently, so perhaps I'm feeling a little bit stuck up here with that sort of mentality where you're pure and then some kind of thing breaks your heart and you just become evil, and and there's some kind of how do you say this, arc in the end, or like a forgiveness, redemption. Yes, that's the word, redemption arc. Or we could ignore that and just have you go full out evil, just full out darling. Do you like that? But does it match the music? That's the question. Or we can have one of those fake redemptions, and at the end we have a sort of thriller, or how do you say, cliffhanger, where it turns out you're still evil, sort of thing. Well, tell me, what are some comparable titles? I don't really like to compare my work to other people's, so if you could use, some of my own creations, that would be extremely lovely. Yes, she was such a pleasure to work with. So that's the kind of energy you would like? She's a fantastic actress, though. I don't think I've seen you quite act. No shade. I just genuinely have not been able to see you act, though I assume you have quite an interest in it, seeing as you're coming to me. Okay. Maybe we should play on that. We should play on your bold and brave energy. Sort of like a Cinderella thing, where you're sort of sneaking around. Or you have a double side, since it's about finding yourself and all of that, right? Perhaps we could have you sort of like a quiet. Okay, yes, so you rebirth, you're born on this empty, frilly land, and then you immediately, find yourself to be, you don't have memory of your past self or whatever, and you immediately find yourself to be some sort of proper, noble woman, very proper, very prim, and you're smiling, but you have this sense of, how do you put it? Unease or dissatisfaction, like you're not unsatiated. Let me draw this out. You're hiding behind a pillar. You catch some naughty things going on. Nothing too naughty, of course. We still want to be broadcasted. Something very, maybe like people having fun. I don't know. Something representative of, a vice, like not drugs, we can't really do that, or sex, we can't do that. Maybe just dancing, going crazy, drinking alcohol. I think that's towing the line, isn't it? And so you join them one night, and then you have this double side to you, where when you go there, your demon self sort of comes out. Yes, it's like you have two sides, angel, demon, but I want both to be freakish. Like, I want the black lips to go with like black contact lenses at the very end. I feel like we're not making sense, darling. Does it make sense? Well, in any case, darling, you ought to give a woman some kind of warning or preparation, period. Because I'm not really a genius, as some people might want you to believe. Instead, I'm just a very hardworking individual with a good eye for genius. But I myself am not the genius. The genius comes from hours of preparation. It comes from what have you, from various inspirations from the world, from muses such as yourself. Look at you, you perfect being. From magazines to editorial shoots to films to TV shows, and recently Euphoria has been quite the exciting thing. I've had a couple of clients reach out and be like, can we do something like Euphoria? Like the makeup looks and the vibe? Like, no, those clients couldn't handle it, but maybe you? Nah. Not yet, anyway. And it's gonna be too, like, derivative, you know? It's too Hollywood. Oh, Halloweeny is what I meant to say. If we just go that route. And I want this to be original. I want it to be fresh. I want it to be deserving of an award, if you will. Yes. Okay. So, let's backtrack a little bit and try to think of this a little bit more. How do you put it a little bit more logically, if you will? Okay. So, we open with you waking up, as we said. I don't know how I'm not married to that idea yet. What about you? Well, yes, it's going to be beautiful, of course. We're gonna have to do some location scouting as well. And we're gonna need a scene for your choreography. I'm assuming you're still going to be doing choreography. And it's gonna be a group choreography. Preposterous. Sorry, I didn't even say that right. Preposterous. You don't want to do a choreography scene. Darling, are you sure your agency is going to let you have this one? They owe something to you? Oh, darling, what could you possibly have over them? Oh. How awful. I'm sorry to hear that, but I'm glad that you have a little bit more autonomy. I think you have a great mind and you have a go-get-it attitude that I really admire. Okay, so I'm already getting a better vibe with you, and the inspiration juices are flowing. I'm thinking assassin. I'm thinking you are the princess, one of the prince or king's many wives or consorts or whatever you will, or just a lover, and then you end up killing him. That's the message. Yes. For a split moment in time, you're about to kill the other woman or the other women, but then you realize no, and then it becomes sort of like a bloodbath. Is that too much? Is that pushing the envelope too much? Are you comfortable with that? Okay, well, I'm gonna have to find a way to make it a little bit more PG though. Yes, you do have quite the young fan base. Oh yes, of course, I'm sure you also have very cultured fans as well. Okay, assassin, woman, tribe, sort of thing going on. Okay, so we've got an assassin vibe, heightenizing your hair kind of vibe, lots of blood, or metaphorical, like sort of splattering the wall kind of thing. Or just swords, a lot of swords. I can see that. That's gonna be so pretty, but gruesome. And I want you to be just fully like bloody. Would that allow that? Or, you know, we could have you dripping in gold if they're a little bit uncomfortable with the blood. Or you could be like emerging from an inky black pool as a metaphor. And then we can have some like wisteria or like some flowers just completely covering you. Some kind of like a funeral flowers sort of situation. And then at the end of everything, you are sort of crowned the sort of emperor or the ruler, if you will. What do you think of that? That's an idea. possessed. Or you fall in love with one of your lover's other lovers and it becomes a Romeo and Juliet situation. That could be something. Okay. I'm just putting down all my ideas. This is how I brainstorm. I go back and forth. I usually do this with like my assistants or with agents and stuff like that, and they just don't really care. They're just there to make a quick buck. But you darling, you are a gem, a diamond in the rough, piece of coal, if you will. But listen, I can see my assistant clocking me through my glass door. Right now, I'm supposed to be at another meeting. They're making some kind of boy group, and I'm kind of bored by the idea already. Like, it's just some kind of, dance thing, and it's gonna be very masculine and macho and whatever, but hey, maybe I'm in it for a quick buck too, you know what I mean? Anyways, let's set up a proper meeting. We're gonna have to talk budget. We're gonna have to have your demo ready, or not your demo, the actual recording. It doesn't have to be fully mastered. I just need to know how it's gonna sound like, how you sound on it, the kind of energy you're putting into it, you know. And yes, those are some of the basic information that I need, and I just think that we're gonna be doing such a great job with this. And I love your look. I think you can push the boundaries so much with your look. Oh, darling, whoever told you that? Well, you might not have the very typical, normal sort of look, but you're charming. Your charm, you're oozing with it. And I can't wait to work with you. Just your personality. Yes, and the fact that you're so open to my ideas, and the fact that you recognize my genius. Genius recognizes genius, you know. So, I feel like I'm getting ahead of myself. I need to compose myself and tone down my exposure so the other group doesn't think that I'm just fawning over them, because honestly, they're okay. I don't mean to diss them, but they're okay. What sound is that? My energy level has been just incrementally climbing ever since you set foot into my office. You are so gorgeous and I love your mind. But it is time for us to part for now. Please go and work hard on your recording, and I await for your email. Okay? Okay. Wonderful. So, if you don't mind, I'm gonna have to head out now. I'm gonna bring my trusty drawing pad and laptop. Why don't you come with me? I'll walk you out, and you can take a glance at the new boy group you're doing.